All right, everybody. I assume that you guys are familiar with a little game, a little fun little game I've never played and been told to play many times called Hades. In the game, from my understanding, you play as, I forget what the character's name is. He exists in Greek mythology, and he's kind of like kind of important. Not so much so, but he's the main character of Hades 1. And, you're running around, you're fighting shit in dungeons for Greek gods. Zagreus, yeah, Zagreus, thank you. And it is a very, the gays love Hades. I've yet to meet a gay person who plays video games that doesn't fucking love Hades. It is a very woke game franchise, very much claimed by the woke, if you will. And, on top of that, it's also just, really fucking good. Like a really good, whatever the fuck that type of game is called, roguelike or whatever. And apparently just very broadly popular. And it's easy, if you're just some normie, to overlook the broad, obvious, progressive messaging and, dog whistles, for lack of a better phrase. Which is why, with the release of Hades 2, and it leading a little more into that kind of stuff, the right has gotten even fucking angrier about Hades than they were, even months ago. You see, a couple months ago, they announced that, I think it was Hephaestus would be in a wheelchair. Hephaestus is notoriously, the wording in the original text is, crippled, I believe, or more or less crippled. He was born with a lot of, birth defects and not really able to walk or do much but sit and forge. The best blacksmith and forger and craftsman you could imagine, but bro couldn't really walk or do much, he kind of got fucked. He got a little fucked in the grand scheme of things. A bit of a tragedy, a Greek tragedy, if you will. But they got really mad about that. And then what they're really mad about right now is, I guess, the supposed hypocrisy and these imaginary game journalists that are attacking Stellar Blade, and these imaginary journalists who are simultaneously praising Hades for what they view as the same thing, but the difference is Hades is gay, so it's okay. So let's get into it. There's a video here from a channel called Lack of Entertainment. Channel's got 70k subs, up-and-coming chud channel, it would seem. Video came out about a week ago with 22,000 views. It's called Why Are Hades 2 Fans in Such Denial? I'm guessing this is going to be some pretty nuclear cringe, so prepare yourselves. And let's watch this. I've never played Hades. I have no bias in favor of it, frankly. I just think that people getting mad about these character designs are, well, they're just kind of demonstrating how huge they are of losers. That this is what matters to them. How the fuck does this matter to you? How are you a person with anything going on in your life, and this matters to you? It's just a huge self-report to me that you're just a huge fucking loser in real life,
I actually had someone on Twitter saying, it's disrespectful.
Oh my god, this dude's a VTuber who's, role-playing as a little trog creature. Jeez, this guy's not even hiding what he looks like in real life. This isn't even a VTube avatar. It's just a rotoscoped, animation, texture going over his real life webcam. He's just sitting squatted like a little goblin knoll troll in a chair, and it's yeah. We've got a Nuxtaku too. Yeah, another what's his name? The Lolicon VTuber. Rev says Desu. We've got another Rev says Desu on our hands.
That I said that Hephaestus is in the cock chair. And it's so you think wheelchairs are cock chairs? And I'm no. Gods do not sit in wheelchairs. I'm sorry, he is a god. Gods do not have wheelchairs. So the only logical explanation is that...
I mean... why do they always have to make the weirdest, most wrong arguments? Hephaestus. There are a lot of different ways Hephaestus is portrayed. Most of them not too... not very, Not in a way that's very appealing. Sometimes you get, like, epic guy in, like, a flowing toga with rippling muscles, like, forging. But, like, this would probably be a pretty accurate depiction. But ironically, an even more accurate depiction of Hephaestus is God of War. God of War actually depicted Hephaestus very accurately. He's huge in this for some reason. I don't know if he's described as being, like, massive in the original stuff, but, like, they seem to have just ripped his design directly from how he's described in Norse mythology, which is, like, half-blind, incapable of walking, gaunt, but also, like, bloated and overweight in some areas. Like, he was truly just cursed in every possible way. He's handicapped and also, like, quite hideous. That is part of his character. It is, like, core to his character in the story of, like, the Greek gods. Jesus Christ, fucking watch or read Percy Jackson, you'll know this much. Like, fucking hell.
The creators of the game placed him in a cock chair because this is Hephaestus. And Hephaestus is married to Aphrodite, and Aphrodite is...
Wait, no. This is also... Wait, no. That is actually good, though. Wait. He is in the cuck chair. Hephaestus is a cuck. He's actually in the cuck chair. So, like, what is the problem here? Why does he call it the cock chair? Non-Americans can't pronounce cuck for some reason. I don't know why. Is he German or something? I don't know. Some degenerate European nation. All the Germans in my chat looking at me like... Yeah. I've got, like... My like, Germans dropped down from, like, third most prevalent, like, country of viewership origin, and my stats down to, like, 20th just for me saying that shit. Is this not German? Is this not a German person? Xanderall, Joseph, husband of Mary, images in Christian imagery is based on the pictures of Hephaestus but can walk? Ah, okay.
Having sexual relationships with Ares. So this is the chair that Hephaestus carries around in order to watch his wife get into the naughty with Ares. Isn't this what the developers wanted? Because otherwise I don't understand. Now, my personal favorite is the fact that people are either denying or they're justifying the wokeness in the game. Many people...
They're either denying or justifying the wokeness in the game. Dude, no one needs to justify anything. It is a game. Let game developers do what they want to do. Isn't that interesting how that's the argument that I have to make now? Hey, the game developers want to do this thing. Why not let them? It's their game. Why must they be forced to change this? When you freak out about something that was a creative decision by artists in a popular game, you're going to get made fun of. That's what it is. It's not justifying or denying. Like, what, denying that it's woke? No, it's obviously quite progressive. That's the L on your part. This is a very popular franchise. Didn't Hades 2 win, like... Wasn't it, like, in the runner-up for Game of the Year it came out? Wasn't it, like, the game everyone was saying should win Game of the Year? I think it lost to Elden Ring, but if it weren't for Elden Ring, it would have won or something. I think so, yeah. I know it was in the Game of the Year runner-up. It might have won that year, though. I'm trying to remember. All I know is that, like, for straight 2 years after it came out, I got a lot of shit for not having played Hades. It was like not having seen Breaking Bad. Like, people will give you shit for not having played Hades. My own chat, for example, though we are selecting for pretty progressive people, but it's a very beloved game in that genre.
We'll say, well, V, hold on, this game is not woke, right? Like, just because you have Hephaestus in the cock chair, that doesn't make the game woke. And this is a level of deconstruction.
It is hilarious to me that he can't say cuck. He says cock in the cock chair. And he's got, like, a very squeaky voice, too. What is up with these weirdo, like, VTuber anime anti-woke freakazoids having, like, SpongeBob-esque screechy voices? I've always hated my voice. I thought it was, like, too close to this guy's voice for my comfort, frankly. But I hear this guy talk, and I'm like, fuck, I sound like Kratos compared to this dude. Yeah, why does Nuxtaku sound the way he does? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Hold on. Let me tell me you don't hear the similarity, okay? Nuxtaku. I'm about to expose you guys to a fucking cognito hazard. Get all sharp objects out of your vicinity. I can't believe this guy ever recovered from this shit. Re-upload. This is a re-upload. He took this shit down. Not surprising. Now, like, whenever this guy's videos get put in my recommended, it's him, like, full reacting to an episode of Adventure Time or something. Get ready. Cognito hazard. This is the worst thing that has ever been created.
Twitch thoughts, giving teens bloody no sleeping. On stream still pulling views, cleavage on wherever I turn, but I watch for the plot. Typing with one hand on the key, streamers talk.
I'm sorry, you don't get to be a degenerate, like, hentai addict and criticize anybody for gooning to, like, real women who live stream. I'm sorry. Like, gooning to real women is infinitely more respectable, in my opinion, than gooning to, like, drawings of women. Like, you're a gooner regardless, but you're far more respectable when the women you're gooning to, like, exist in real life, I think. Maybe not, though. Maybe it's better to goon to not real women. Although, if you're gooning to women, I presume you're gooning to women who have, like, allowed their goon material to be released and spread about, you know? I just got him out of my head. Stop, Zan, no. Yeah, we're not watching the whole thing, but you guys hear exactly what I'm saying, right? Like, why do these guys have, like, some sort of similar range of voice every time I hear them?
Where they will just take one element and hyper-focus on it. It's kind of like a doctor who notices someone saying they have a chest pain, and they're like, well, just because you have a chest pain doesn't mean that you have a heart attack. Which is true, right? Like, we need to look at the bigger picture. So we have Hephaestus in a cock chair, we have race-swapped gods, we got the Michael Jackson skin...
Race-swapped gods. Huh?
So we have Hephaestus in a cock chair, we have race-swapped gods, we got the Michael Jackson skin disease, we got...
Michael Jackson skin disease? Isn't that the goddess of fire? Doesn't it kind of make sense that part of her design would be that, I don't know, she's got, like, burns on her or something? She has vitiligo in the game? Oh, I thought it's supposed to be burns or something. I don't know. Smoke or ash? Yeah, I don't fucking know. I just think it looks cool. Like, it looks like she is a representative of fire. Like, what can I say? It's a solid design. It's different from most designs of Hestia I've ever seen. Pretty good. The face looks weird to me, though. There's something about the face that I will criticize. Something about the face looks weird. I don't know if it's just the resolution at which we've seen it, but something about, like I can't make out if the nose is, like, some kind of mouse nose, which would be a weird design choice. And, like, from afar away, it's really hard to see that the mouth is wide and the mouth just looks like a single tiny little pair of lips. And, like, yeah, it, like, from afar away, the face looks like a mouse face, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know if that was intended. That'll be my criticism. I don't like the face of this design, but everything else I love about this design. It's pretty solid. The Gooners, because these people are all hentai addicts. The Gooners were mad and made this post to share around, like Grums was one of them. Hestia, Japan versus America. There's an anime. I don't know what it's called because the logo is not in English. Maybe it's literally just called Hestia. I don't know. But the goddess Hestia is in this anime, and she is presented like this, which is just like, I mean, dude. Like, dude. And so I guess the idea is that America presents women as ugly, and not like even ugly, just not like necessarily like, oh, a wooga. But Japan makes their characters Gooner material. Like, here is a girl who is 5'2", and weighs 120 pounds, and 30 pounds of it are her breasts. And she also has ridiculously large eyes that make you question whether or not this character qualifies as a lolly effectively. And you're like, are the weirdos gooning over this, like, very weird? I don't know. Maybe I won't jump to that point, because I don't know if it's, like, some degenerate shit, but I don't know. Generally, you can gauge, like, whether or not a character in anime is supposed to be younger by, like, the size of their eyes, apparently. Like, you get a kid in anime, they usually have big-ass fucking eyes, which is sort of realistic, I suppose. Like, kids do tend to have, like, weird proportions on their face. Like, when you're growing up, your face is all weirdly proportioned. Yeah. Anyway, I will say the design is much like a child, weirdly proportioned face here, like in the way I can view it in this low resolution on this design.
We got our safe horny content. We got our female characters with the manly jawline. We got Aphrodite with...
What? Female characters with a manly jawline. What? Okay. Is it, like, rare to consider a strong jawline on a woman attractive? Because my understanding is that is what is expected of models, for example. Like, when you see a model who's doing, like, clothing modeling or makeup modeling, they tend to be tall, rail thin, and have sharp as fuck facial features. These are the facial features of a supermodel. Like, look at a fucking runway line of supermodels and look at their faces. They have these cheekbones. They have like, you look at them face on and they look like this if they're making a stern face. Like, I don't know who else to, like, use it. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney has this type of face structure from what I've seen. Like, I don't know, like, why must you make up things is the thing, right? Like, you can talk shit about the design of Hestia, I guess. Like, I think the face is a little weird, right? That's a good criticism. But why is the main character here, who is a witch, by the way, and, like, why must the character, by the way, be sex appealing? Like, think about this, guys. Not every guy that you meet in a game is meant to be attractive. Oftentimes, many male characters you play as aren't really designed to be attractive, right? Like, maybe women will find them attractive, or even guys will find them attractive, but it's not really because of their design so much as their personality, actions, and how they're brought to life, right? You know, like a good example, this might be the Ghoul from Fallout, right? Hey! A good example of this, granted not a video game character, but there are countless other examples I could use. The Ghoul from Fallout. How many women have you seen fucking creaming their undies over the fucking Ghoul from Fallout over the last few weeks, despite him literally being a walking tumor? Who tortures women several times, brutally. It turns out, like, you get the right characteristics and women are attracted to it, because what is considered attractive for men doesn't necessarily lie entirely in appearance. Hell, you don't even need to be a male character and be attractive to justify existing. But if you're going to exist in media and be a female character, you better be attractive. Or if you're not, or if you're going to be unattractive, it better be core to your character. You can't just be a female character in media who isn't like a glowing, like, neon sign saying, please jack off to me, please rule 34 me, you know? Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, why does every female character have to be like rule 34 bait for the Gooners?
We got Aphrodite with a masculine face and masculine features. So all of these put together, yes, like when you look...
Hold on a minute. This one we actually have a good point on. I've seen lefties denying this, which I guess might be what he's referring to earlier. But this isn't made up. Aphrodite's design here, which we can't show the rest of because big old titties and whatnot. She's naked with nothing but hair covering her. Aphrodite here deliberately is designed to have an androgynous face. Not a masculine face, and not a feminine face. Granted, everything else about her is so feminine that if you just glance at her for a second, you'd be like, ah, no, it's just a chick. right? Like, you wouldn't notice, but if you look at her face, knowing that the designers deliberately pulling from Greek mythology made her face androgynous, you can recognize it. These guys are freaking out over it and think she's like got man face or something, but I think she looks great. The idea behind Aphrodite is that, for those that don't know her origin, she came from a penis. Not like how we all came from a penis. No. I mean, literally, a titan that is the sky had his dong chopped off, his cock and balls chopped off, fell into the ocean, dissolved into sea foam, and then that sea foam formed together into Aphrodite, and she washed up on the shores of, like, Greece. And then, like, entered the world, right? Yeah, Aphrodite is not just, like, supposed to be a goddess, necessarily. She is supposed to be a representative of what she is the goddess of, which is obviously how Hades primarily designs their gods and goddesses, it seems, is like, what are they the god and goddess of? Fire? Death? Whatever it may be? That is going to be the core part of their design. And with the god of love and fertility, that's not a specifically feminine thing, necessarily. Fertility is a male thing. Love is a thing males can experience and give and get, right? And so, while yes, she is a goddess, it makes sense if her face is just this androgynous picture of perfection, right? Like, this is, whether you say this is a male or female looking face, I'd say it's androgynous, as the designers went for. It is objectively a handsome / beautiful, whatever you want to use to describe it, androgynous face. Which is sort of the whole point. Aphrodite is a representative of human beauty. Not just female human beauty, but human beauty. And that is what was the core of Aphrodite's design, much more than just another goddess with her titties out, as Aphrodite is often presented as, you know?
Look at all of this ensemble.
Though she definitely has her titties out here.
You notice that, yeah, the game is pretty fucking woke. And I'm willing to bet they even worked with one of these consultancy groups, like Sweet Baby, in order to create this woke game. Now,
you know what's really hilarious about the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff? There are like 12 games that have any affiliation with Sweet Baby Inc. And like half of them were Game of the Year contenders. Like, broadly loved, like, beloved video games. God of War Ragnarok is a good example. It's really interesting when these people wage war against a thing that's been cemented as beloved, right? Like, for those of you guys that don't know, the guy who did the music for God of War Ragnarok, Bear McCreary, is like a really... He might be like in the beginning of his career right now. He's a younger guy, but like for the last 10 years, he has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've like only just found out that he has been behind so many projects that I love. He is the guy who made the Walking Dead theme song. That's right, the that theme song, he made it. He made the Walking Dead theme song. That was him. He also did all the music for God of Wars 1 and 2. I mean, like, God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, sorry. The reboot games. He did the music for both. And this is what's so fucking funny to me about this. You know how the right, and many people generally shit on the Rings of Power Amazon Lord of the Rings show, one of the biggest claims being, like, the music was uninspiring and bad. That was Bear McCreary. That was Bear McCreary given the biggest budget and team of like whole orchestra he had ever had. That was Bear McCreary at his peak in that show. So it was like a good example of like, man, the political bias against a piece of media is motivating people to say they hate something that in some cases they've outright said they loved in other pieces of media. Like, they'll say they loved Bear McCreary's music in God of War Ragnarok, not knowing that the same guy did the music in Rings of Power and then shit talk Rings of Power's music and say it was cheap and shitty or something, you know? And it's just like, okay, so you're just making up reasons to hate on a thing that you want to call woke and bad, right? And so right now, this guy's claiming that Hades 2 is woke. How much you want to bet he's going to start moving into, now the game is going to be bad because of the wokeness? Like, the actual gameplay will be bad.
Interesting thing is that there are two people. the first group of people that just tried to deny this. And I don't understand why. It's like, why can't you just admit that you're like a woke king? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not going to judge how you're
Well, for one, the reason why people, I guess, deny is probably because people like this guy can't define woke. Woke literally means just when anybody does something bad that can be tied to the left, or something that is like woke in some cases means like woke, how I would use it, right? Like I would use woke to describe progressive leaning representation or ideas, right? Broadly, very broad, simple definition. The problem is these guys will see like there'll be a story where some dude kidnaps a bunch of children, locks them up, and like mutilates them. And these guys will respond, that guy was woke. This is an example of another one of those woke psychos torturing children. Like, they'll take a completely apolitical, horrible thing someone done and say, that's woke too. Woke is both when anything progressive and also when anything horrible and objectively bad or objectively cringe. Doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Sometimes they just say they'll just point to something that most people find cringe and say that is also what woke is, right? So any progressive values are lumped together with cringe and also horrible atrocities committed by those that could even tangentially be associated with the left. Mind you, we've had like, what, 1 million mass shootings committed by young white men, and one single mass shooting ever in American history has been committed by a trans person. And now that means that like every trans person is a ticking time bomb or something, right? So like every shooter, they try to start a like rumor that the shooter, every time there's a new shooting, they claim the shooter was trans, and then it comes out the shooter wasn't trans. Ever since the was it Nashville, the Nashville shooting? Ever since then, they try to claim every new mass shooter was trans. Even as they have a Nazi manifesto dropping online explaining that they did it because of brown people needing to be wiped out, they will claim the shooter was trans and motivated by wokeness. They did it to the Club Q shooter. You guys remember that, right? The mass shooter that like went into the nightclub and shot up a bunch of people. Like the fucking like back during like 2020, like they did it with him. Not Pulse, Club Q. Maybe they did do it with Pulse. I don't know. I was 16 when the Pulse nightclub shooting happened. I remember my homophobic boss at WikiWatchy, though. I remember my homophobic boss celebrating that, though. I came into work that day after the Pulse nightclub shooting, and my boss and one of my coworkers, like an older, like one of my coworkers, maybe 19, 20, who was clearly homophobic, so was my boss, were like high-fiving and actively joking about how he should have gotten more of them, is what I remember them saying. Like, genuinely, I didn't understand the context, though. I walked in to see them saying, like, should have gotten more of them. I was like, what? And I heard them say, like, the guy that was my coworker say, oh, yeah, there was a shooting at a nightclub. That's all he said to me, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I just thought edgy jokes. I was 16. I thought that, like, joking about a shooting at, like, a nightclub and, you should have gotten more. You didn't get a high enough kill count. Like, 16-year-olds will find that kind of shit edgy. And, I didn't really think much of it, but looking back at that story, long since having gotten the context, it's like, holy fuck, I know what was motivating that now, you know? I didn't even know what, like, the shooting was motivated by when I heard there was a shooting. I just thought it was a shooting, you know? I didn't know it was some, like, hate crime, right? But yeah, really fucked up stuff. That guy, I think his name was Lee. Yeah, I'm gonna full-on dox his ass. Fuck that piece of shit. His name was Lee. He worked at Buccaneer Bay. As a manager of the lifeguards. His name was Lee. I wish I could remember his last name. Racist as shit and a massive piece of shit. Massive asshole. That guy would threaten to fire me if I so much as forgot my sunglasses when I was on post. I'm not joking. I forgot my sunglasses on post once. I dared to look at the water with my eyes rather than a polarized sunglasses, which, you know, fair. You got to be able to see below the water better. But I dared to forget my sunglasses, and he, like, screamed at me, like, about it. And, like, at the time I was 16, I didn't know that you can just tell your boss to go fuck yourself, and, like, they can't just, like, do anything to you for that. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I was 16, you know, I was a kid. But, like, looking back at it now, I would have absolutely told him to go fuck himself. Like, if somebody talks to me like that now, I blow up at them. Like, I worry if I ever end up in a bad situation with a cop and they start giving me orders. Like, I hope I don't give them lip, but, like, it sets something fucking off in me when people give me orders. Like, ever since I became an adult, like, if someone orders me to do something, it's gonna be a fucking fight. You better ask me politely or request that I do a thing. If you say, Alex, do this thing, we're gonna have a fucking problem. We're gonna have a real fucking problem. We're not going to be friends anymore at the very least, you know? Like, I'm not going to do what someone demands that I do, right? Yeah. But as a kid, I didn't know better, but yeah. Like, that shit was fucking wild. Why did I stun lock so hard on this story? What the fuck was the relation to what we were talking about? How did we get here? I think we started on the Pulse nightclub shooting. Like, we started on the Club Q shooting, then Pulse nightclub, then I told that story, and that, yeah, okay, fucking wild. I don't know, maybe my editor can cut that stun lock out, or maybe it makes it better. Who knows?
Spending your money. If you want to buy a woke game because you like it, that's great. You know, you can even say, well, hold on, V, there are some absolutely amazing woke games out there. And I'll be like, really? Which one? Hades 2. And I'll be like, well, I mean, you're right. Best game of the year. Biggest regret of my life that I didn't buy it. So that is one option. I don't understand why people are pretending that it's not woke when it obviously is. The second one is that, no, you don't.
So in this case, he means... What woke means in this case is there is progressive representation, and the designs have had some level of, like, clear... Like, the designs were clearly made by left-leaning people. Okay. Hades 1 is also a really good, beloved woke game. Once again, why is this a problem? Notice how it's like him continuously railing against people, quote-unquote, denying that it's woke, and he vaguely references defending that it's woke, but what are your attacks against it for being woke? Like, why is it bad that it's woke? You're just continuously saying it's woke, it's woke, it's woke, and you're implying it's bad that it's woke, but not even outright saying it, you know? He's not even outright saying that it being woke is bad, so what's the point? Like, is this just supposed to be... Are you just repeating yourself over and over again about this being woke shit for an audience of people who just want more slop shoveled down their throats about how insert new thing is bad because woke? Because they need anger and rage to keep themselves going? A lot of these people are like that. They need anger and rage to keep themselves going. A lot of them just thrive off of getting a reaction out of people.
Don't understand, this is realistic. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? Well, no, you see, Hephaestus actually, according to the lore, fell from the Olympus, and that's why he ended up in the cock chair. And I'm like,
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think he was just born like kind of a hunchback, like club-footed sort of poor guy, you know? Like, Hephaestus is one of the most tragic gods. Like, there's definitely more tragic characters than Hephaestus in Greek mythology, but as far as the pantheon of, like, gods that are, like, known and high up there, man, Hephaestus is one of the saddest stories, you know? Like, dude is, like, crippled, cucked, hardly respected for anything other than what he can be used for, because he's simply a tool. He's just sort of, like, really sad as a character, you know? And I do consider, you know, they're characters. Norse mythology is a story. They're characters, you know. I think this is fine. Like, it's just interesting. Also, why is it bad to take an idea from the mythology and exaggerate it? Why is that bad? What is the issue here? Please, I need an argument that's not just people deny it's woke. Sure, it's woke. Okay, what now? Why is that bad? Why is it bad that it's woke? What about this is bad? How is this harming anyone? How does this affect your ability to play the game? Do the existence of handicapped people, does that bother you? I get that, like, conservatives who've watched that new Daily Wire show, Mr. Bircham, are freaking out because there's a gay character in it, and they just can't see that. They want a show with no gay people where they aren't reminded gay people exist. Is that what it is for handicapped people here? Like, they just don't want to be reminded that handicapped people exist, and they do not want to be reminded that, like, non-fuckable, in their view, women exist? Is that what this is all about? Like, just them? They could always just not play it? Well, not playing it, simply not playing the game doesn't make them any money, though, guys. That's the thing. it's obvious this dude doesn't give a shit about this stuff, really. I'm sure he finds this cringe or bad, and he's got plenty to say to make fun of it. I don't think he's just pretending to have the opinions he has, but the only reason he is pretending to care as much as he is, looking like he cares about this, right? Either that or this guy is a super loser. I choose to believe this is just a guy. Maybe he finds this cringe and bad, truly, but he's really talking about this because he wants to make money. Because this is a topic that, within his target audience, is currently getting clicks.
You do realize we have statues of Hephaestus. You do realize that he was never implied to be in a wheelchair, right? Like,
but the statues of Hephaestus are all different from each other, right? Like, the Hephaestus statues depict him in a bunch of different ways, as do Zeus statues, as do Poseidon statues. Obviously, you get a general, approximation. You usually see an anvil, though not always. You can see a lot of these have an anvil. But, so? These are artist representations of made-up gods, by the way. These statues were artist representations, just like Hades is a modern-day artistic representation of these gods. Why are these old one of these is literally an eBay statue, by the way. These are Etsy, Amazon, Wikipedia. These are literally, that's open art. That's literally an open AI program. These are literally, manufactured things. None of these are real ancient statues. These are all, store-bought. This is a shopping page he's showing currently. What the fuck? These aren't real statues of Hephaestus. Also, even if they were, why would this Etsy statue somebody made be a more valid representation of Hephaestus than this one? He's got the hammer. He is, this depiction is more accurate because he's not visibly handicapped in this depiction. And in the lore, he is visibly handicapped, I assure you. Yeah, sort of the whole irony is that Hephaestus is supposed to be, butt-ass ugly, and he ends up getting arranged married by Zeus with Aphrodite. And Aphrodite's like, really? You're really gonna do that to me? She gets really fucking pissed about it and immediately cheats on him with Ares and, a bunch of other of the gods, mostly Ares.
even when you read the Legends of Olympus, he was limping as he was walking around. But he was walking around. And he definitely didn't look like a Reddit moderator.
What? Why can't he have a chair? Why must he limp? Why must he limp? He makes things. Okay, so Hephaestus, master craftsman, and, blacksmith and whatnot, limps around. It seems like the way they've gone here is that he literally lost his leg and has, a prosthetic here, honestly. Why would he... He's a god. Why would he limp around when he can make himself a mechanized chair to ride around on? Isn't a golden, Greek symbolism adorned, what are they called? What are the dwarf species that makes, the robots in Elder Scrolls called? It looks like the dwarf technology in Elder Scrolls a little bit, how it's all gold and mechanical, but sort of in a fantasy-ish kind of way. This just kind of fits, you know? They're making their own... Dwemer, thank you. They're doing their own thing. Why does this matter? How is this bad? Wait, okay. Why is it that in 2016... these motherfuckers were the ones arguing, just let the devs do what they want, let game developers make what they want. If they don't want there to be any black people in their game, let there not be any black people in their game. And we're like, okay, whatever, fine, sure. And they're like, if you want your games to be woke, go make your own games. And now the games are being made, the woke are making their own games, and it's a problem now? It seems like the only consistency in these arguments is that it is bad to either want or have anything even vaguely interpretable as progressive in your piece of media. That's the only consistency. It's apparently it's never okay, judging by how they seem to feel about these circumstances. The goalposts are never stationary.
He wasn't an American that came out of McDonald's on the mobility scooter. He was a god. God.
He never played Hades 1. Many of these character designs he complains about were from there, too. That doesn't surprise me. I'd be, like, pretty shocked if Hephaestus didn't appear in Hades 1. Or, like Hephaestus especially, like, I would be surprised if it wasn't in Hades 1. Hephaestus is a pretty big deal. Like, bro is probably the guy who makes your weapons or something in Hades 1. I've literally never played it. I know so little about Hades. Aphrodite was in Hades 1. Yeah? Hold on. Did they change her design at all? If they changed her design, maybe he has a point. Aphrodite, Hades 1. They actually kind of did? No, yeah, they totally did. Yeah, they changed her design. Her face was far more feminine in the first game. For sure. Here, I can show you guys. Obviously, can I not isolate the photo? Jesus. Okay, we've got a side-by-side here. I assume this is okay with YouTube. People stream Hades. People upload videos of... The sun is in my eyes, guys. What? I need to get some curtains, because what the fuck? How do I turn off God rays in real life? Guys, where are my graphics settings? I can't figure out how to turn off the God rays. Anyway, so here's Aphrodite, the design as she is in Hades 2. And you can see very, like, when you isolate it, right? Like cut out everything else and just isolate the face, you know? Just kind of use your hands, like, just look at the face here. Very much you can tell what I'm talking about here, where it's, like, not masculine, but androgynous. Not quite masculine, not quite feminine, leaning on feminine for sure, considering the body the face is attached to, but you know what I mean. Though I kind of get why some people might be pointing out the change, because the original face looked like this. The original design for Aphrodite was a way more, like, you know, stereotypical, like, hot lady design. Especially in the face, like, just a very, you know, pointed nose, just very feminine. This is drawn like how people tend to draw. It's the other way around? No, it's not. This is not the new face. This is the new face that people are complaining about. Still more chin than Andrew Tate? Yeah. I mean, like, you could go out into the street today and see a woman with a face that looks like this, to be fair. Like, this isn't necessarily like a non-womanly face. Facial features can look very different depending on what body they're attached to, right? But yeah, regardless, they definitely made a design change to make her look more androgynous, and I respect it. The understanding that I have just from, like, reading, like, I literally read a post from one of the, like, devs on Twitter just in passing. I really had no interest in this drama while it was happening. I just decided I'd talk about it because, you know, I'm not attached to... I don't have any bias here. I'm an unbiased figure. I might as well give my take on it, right? But yeah, I guess I get it if you thought the original design for Aphrodite was prettier and you're a Gooner, why you'd be upset. But, like, guys, you can always goon. You have the design flipped. There's no way I have the designs flipped. There's no way they're angry that they switched from the androgynous face to the feminine face. There's no way that's what pissed them off. It's just a camera angle difference? No. No, they definitely redesigned the face.
Gods have been depicted as peak human condition, including Hephaestus. We have statues of them. Oh yeah, but, like, you don't understand, the Aphrodite is the goddess of love, which means all love. So, like, of course she would look like Slanesh. Right? So like, they have, like...
What? The idea is that she is the goddess of human love and fertility and beauty. Human beauty. Not simply women, but humans. Obviously, she's a goddess, but her face can represent an androgynous beauty. How does she look like fucking Slanesh? It's literally just any, like, weird, insulting thing he can come up with. It's like a deep cut reference that'll, like, you have to understand, so many people who watch this drivel content, their standards are so low, all it takes is a weak attempt at a deep cut reference to get them to, like, laugh and think, oh, what a good joke, oh my god.
These pseudo-lore justifications, which again is fine, but you don't have to cope with it. You just say, like, the creators wanted to make the game woke. It's fine, you know, like...
Okay, the creators want to make the game woke. Why is that bad? And so I keep asking you. Like, you keep arguing over the choices to make the characters look this way for some reason. But why is it bad the game's woke? Why is it bad that this is how the characters look? Is it bad because it's woke? Is it woke because it's bad? Is it both? That's what it kind of seems like. Things they call woke are bad because they're woke, and they're woke because they're bad. That's their logic, right? Like, ask them about anything. Rings of Power, it's bad because it's woke, and it's woke because it's bad. Like fucking, I don't know, the new Ghostbusters, not the new one, the 2016 Ghostbusters. Cringe as fuck movie. Really awful, bad writing, all that good, all 9 yards. Horrible movie. Really did not like it. Both like watching it not as a conservative and back when I was a little chud, but also like it was like if you ask them like what's bad about it, they'll say it's bad because it's woke or woke because it's bad. Like whichever angle you take, you're always going to end up taking the same like circular track just in a different direction. Yes, the Ghostbusters 2016 movie was aggressively cringy. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this light shaft in my eyes, guys. I hope I'm not sustaining serious eye damage from like the daily sunbeam blast through my window I've been getting. I need some blackout curtains for that window bad.
They could have also made Aphrodite the same way that Smite makes Aphrodite. That would also be the decision. But you notice that all the decisions constantly move towards California. Like, oh.
What the fuck? Wait, I genuinely... How do people take these guys seriously? Did this guy just say... This guy's not even American, and he just said California. Well, I guess neither was pronouns guy. California shit! Is New York or California like the woke place now, I wonder? Have you seen Blood of Zeus? I don't know. The guy is complaining about the Hades 1 design. So literally, okay, so has the design not changed and he's complaining about this, the design Aphrodite has always had, and those are just two different angles, maybe? If those are literally two different angles, then what the fuck is he complaining about, low-key? Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Hold on. Aphrodite Hades 1. Dog. Here we go. Dog. How are you gonna complain about this character not being feminine enough for you? Where is the, like, masculinity in her face? Like, tell me where it is. Point me to it, dude. Where is it? Apparently it's an angle change and there wasn't a redesign. And both of those designs that we've seen are from the same game. Is it literally just an angle thing? Where they just decided to depict her with, like, more pronounced facial features? What the fuck are they mad about? This is the Hades 2 design? What are they mad about? This is her in Hades 2? The game they're mad about, and claiming she has a man face in? Where? I think the line work on the older one is thicker as well. I don't see it. Does she have face paint on here? I think she has literal face paint on across her, like, eyes. I don't know. I'm so fucking tired, dude. I'm so fucking... Whoa. What are these people on? What kind of crack are they smoking? Because I'll front them a brick. They gotta pay me back, though, or I'll be coming for them. I'll eat them.
All the roads go towards
Fuck it, I ate the op.
California. So I'm just bewildered.
I'm not gonna lie.
What do you need
I've been speaking in Dracula Flow references and embarrassing him out lately.
to justify it? It's the same way like people try to justify fan service in an anime, and they're like, well, no, actually, her power appears when her cleavage is exposed. Actually, the hero gains the power while sucking the breast milk from the anime waifu. It's a lore reason.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Like, no, it's fan service. That's what fans want to see. They want to see big tits on the screen. So therefore, that it is. In this situation, I guess this is what people want to see. They want to see safe horny. They want to see...
They want to see safe horny. Okay, this has been an interesting talking point they've had for a little while now, but it's really getting to its peak with this drama. The idea that Aphrodite's design is safe, horny, but Eve's design in Stellar Blade is not. So for those that don't know, there was never, like, a hate movement against Stellar Blade. Like, Stellar Blade just existed as an upcoming game, and Gooners liked it, and then, like, maybe one article was made about how the game is, like, I don't know, going back to the old era of, like, Gooner fan service female characters that are just kind of sex objects or whatever. And I'm sure that happened once or twice with some game journalists. Believe it or not, game journalists are allowed to have political opinions you don't like. It's allowed. I say it should be, at least. I think it should be fine if a gaming journalist does not agree with you. I don't think that automatically means that they're like a hack who should be fired or are ruining the gaming industry. Maybe I just think a little higher of the fact that people can just have their own opinions, but I guess this guy just can't handle it. Regardless, though, a couple people had an op-ed about it, I guess, and then, like, the right decided to claim the game and say, the left hates this game. We love this game. Do you like titties and jiggling asses and tight, skin-tight suits on stacked women doing flips where their pussy is, like, spread eagle in the air? Well, that's the kind of shit we're fighting for. We gotta beat the woke if you want to keep these games existing. And then they make up scandals about the games being censored. Like, guys, you know the free Stellar Blade thing that Grum started? With the claim that, like, Eve's outfit or whatever, the main character, had been, like, edited or, like, censored to have less camel toe? Guys, it turns out the outfit never had the camel toe. Turns out there never was any camel toe. That was a Photoshop, that image where she does, and Grum started the whole free Stellar Blade stop the censorship thing on a completely made up thing that never happened from a fake screenshot. Yep, the camel toe was fake. Wasn't a thing in the game. You can literally rewind, you can go back in versions of your install, apparently, reinstall previous patches of the game before the supposed censorship patch, and put on the exact outfit, and it's exactly the same. You can watch videos of that exact outfit from when game released, and it's exactly the same. There was literally never actually a camel toe. It was complete bullshit. Grums did the entire free Stellar Blade thing was just based on a made-up thing that there had been censorship that never happened. Like, the original thing they said had been censored into the second thing never was real. Factually so.
Hephaestus on the mobility cocktail school, that's fine. Just be okay with it. Like, why are you... You know, it's pathetic when you like something and you have to hide the fact that you like it. Men don't do that. Like, if you're a man...
What? Who the fuck is hiding that they like Hades? What? Who is, like, ashamed of being a Hades fan? I have never... It was literally, like, number 2 or even maybe the winner for Game of the year it came out. Dude, it was one of the it games. Like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate level.
Assume your hobbies and be upfront about them. And if someone criticizes you, tell them to fuck off. At least that's what I do. Now when it comes to me, again, I generally don't care. And I told this to people. It might be a good game, but I won't buy it. And this, like, absolutely confused some individuals. They were, like, bewildered. Well, it's a good game. What do you mean you won't buy it? And it's simple. I don't want to give money to people that hate me. It's not rocket.
They hate him because he's white. They hate him because he's male. They hate him because he's straight. Okay, so we finally got the reason. He doesn't like woke because for people to be woke, they must hate and be racist towards straight white men. Remember, guys, the core of all of this is that these fucking losers think they're victimized by wokeness. They want to be victims so bad. They're such fucking losers. What else am I supposed to say? The guy just kind of shamelessly presents himself as some kind of trog creature. So, hey, not really much I can say from there. He's just kind of being honest with us. I can't watch any more of this. This is so fucking cringe, and I don't even know or care enough about Hades as it stands to like continue to argue about it or for it even. Hell, I'm not even arguing for Hades. I'm more so just like confused, or was confused, what this guy's problem was. But apparently, he thinks he's a victim. Very funny shit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. Every single thumbs up basically cattle prods the YouTube algorithm to push my content out to way more people, so I really do appreciate it when you guys do that. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to do the same. Obviously, your comments also boost the algorithm, and subscribing makes sure that you get notified when I go live or upload. And if you want to see more from me, you can follow my social medias linked down below. You can support me financially directly by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or financially supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch to the Streamlabs link down below. And of course, don't forget to join my fan Discord, which is the main hub of my community, and it's completely free to join. We do watch parties, game events, and call-in streams there. I announce all my uploads and streams, so make sure notifications are on in my Discord and you won't miss anything. But with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there.